What's up, A to Z Sports here live on a Tuesday, on this Tuesday morning, talking Titans. And national media is taking a shot at the Tennessee Titans for what they did surrounding Cam Ward. At least they're talking about the Titans, right? Because ever since Cam Ward became a Titan, it's been pretty crickets. Are they talking about the Titans? It's kind of an ambiguous subtweet about what the Titans did with Cam Ward, jersey number 1, and Oilers NFL Hall of Famer great Warren Moon. So we'll talk about that. Is it the right or the wrong move to unretire a jersey? And now national media members are jumping in on this conversation surrounding Cam Ward. And the NFL draft is now over, but the future is starting to look a little more clear. We know where the NFL draft is going to be for the next 2 years in 2026 and 27. But when will it make its return to Nashville? Some possibilities that we think about that. I have a theory about what the NFL is waiting for the Titans to host the draft again. It's not the stadium, because 2027 is when the stadium opens, and they've already sent that thing to Washington, D.C. But I also have an idea of a future draft location. Would probably be low-key badass. So just throw that out there. A non-NFL city that I think would crush the NFL draft.
Huntsville, Alabama.
Nailed it. Right there next to the rocket ship.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's exactly where
under the shadow of the fake Saturn V
that's
missile.
Where all of the NFL players' careers are going to the moon. So you just put it right next to the rocket ship.
There would be hundreds in attendance. It'd be great.
We'll throw shade at the end of this Tuesday, so get your shade ready. Throw some shade as we always end this Tuesday show. So it is a moment's piece, as Easton says. A moment's piece Easton needs with all the dumb takes he's been having. Well, I mean, that's up to Jeff. We'll see. I wonder if Jeff can put together Easton's dumbest takes in the last week. If you want to give us top 3, Jeff, that'd be great.
Big Ten Jeff is a classic example of your boos don't bother me. I've seen what makes you cheer. Big Ten Jeff, you can go away.
Nice. Shots fired. I'll tell you more about a moment's piece salon and day spa here in a moment. But Easton, get the people going here this morning. Tell them what they got to do.
Yeah, side note, I actually stumbled upon a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa for the first time the other day. I know where it is now. So I might go visit.
You probably should.
Today's probably going to convince me to go visit. Yeah. I couldn't tell you the last time I had any kind of spa experience. And I think it's high time.
It's not about you. It's not about you.
No, it's about me. It's about, it's about us under the guise of making it about me. Uh-huh. You got to like the show this morning. We got a lot to talk about. Going to be talking about Cam Ward, Warren Moon, jersey numbers, the draft. It's a variety show for you today. A lot of topics that we're going to cover. Want to get y'all's thoughts on all of them. So like the show on Facebook, on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button for us, and then jump into the comments with Steven, Vanessa, Paul, even Big Ten Jeff is there, as he always is. Titans Kyle, Anthony Cook, Steven Crocio, Corey. Good morning to all of you. Join them. Be a part of the regulars over there in the chat. Want to hear y'all's thoughts on today's discussion topics. But of course, the price of entry to the chat is that like button. Good news for you. It is free. So like the show, leave a 5-star Google review while you're at it. I mean, you're just sitting here watching the show, got nothing better to do. Go on Google, search A to Z Sports, leave a 5-star review. These are 2 very helpful and free ways to help us out. Be a friend of the show this morning. All right, Austin, we can get it started.
Let's do it officially. Welcome into A to Z Sports here live on a Tuesday. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Easton Freeze, our Titans reporter for A2ZSports.com, and we are Nashville's on-demand sports talk network, going live weekday mornings at 8 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links to the show segment by segment on our Twitter X timeline. Also hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more great Titans content. As Easton just told you, the cold open. Give us a 5-star Google review, because that's very important. That does a lot of great things for not just A to Z Sports Nashville, but A to Z Sports across the country, and all the different ways that we have been able to grow our coverage for the NFL and college football. But we got to thank our presenting sponsors here on our Nashville morning show, because they make things happen and they help out all of you. Wilson County Hyundai, make them a part of your new car buying process. See them in Lebanon or online, wilsoncountyhyundai.com. The Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. And our new friends, Barton Drury Insurance Group, They are one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. They are online and local at bartondrury.com. I do want to give a shout out because in the cold open I mentioned A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. Easton, you said you stumbled upon their location, which is in Cool Springs. If you're not in, around the Nashville area, but maybe the mother or the woman in your life that you need to be celebrating for Mother's Day, which is Sunday. It's like really sneaking up on you.
Mm-hmm.
Easton, I know you have multiple mothers in your life.
I
have multiple mothers in my life. Grandmothers count too. Make sure that you don't forget that Sunday, A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. All you have to do, amomentspeace.com. A gift card, you win. That's it. It can be $50, $100, or even more, and you're going to win Mother's Day and make sure that they have that A Moment's Peace because they have everything there in Cool Springs, right there off of Carruthers. Easy to get to, and you can go in and get a gift card. They wrap it, and it's really pretty, and like a nice, fancy, like shiny envelope with a bow and a sticker that will add a note in there for you. It's phenomenal. I actually have a couples massage for my wife and I, kind of waiting for whenever we want to go get our Moment's Peace here. Love the 90-minute couples massage. They have every type of service for you right there. So don't mess it up. Mother's Day Sunday, amomentspeace.com is where to go. Okay, Easton, now that we got that out of the way. And look, Jeremy, you are 100% reminding people of Mother's Day. Yes. like the draft happens and you're like, oh, Mother's Day's here. And we've also got rookie minicamp on Saturday, Easton. And I will be in attendance for Titans rookie minicamp. You have other obligations that we will not dog you for today.
Well, it's like half the media corps is going to be gone because apparently everybody in the world of college is getting graduated on the same weekend. So I won't be there. JT won't be there. Nick Suss won't be there. Others, I'm sure, won't be there. A lot of graduations in May, it turns out.
Well, it seems like I will be able to win then because
it might just be you out there.
I mean, that's great. I will get some phenomenal content for A to Z Sports, but we will see Cam Ward for the first time on the practice field wearing the number 1 jersey. And I think this was a great move by the Titans organization to unretire the number 1 jersey for Cam Ward to wear it. A new face of the franchise, the number 1 overall pick at quarterback, wearing the number 1, just like he did last year at Miami in the college ranks, getting them on the doorstep of the college football playoff. So that's starting to get a little more rumblings around the NFL circles because unretiring a jersey, Mike Sando of The Athletic now put this tweet out there yesterday, and this really sparked some conversation that we're going to have. Mike Sando on the left. Once a team retires a jersey number, the team should take the lead in saying that number is not available. Don't put the retired player in the position of having to say yes or no. So that's Mike Sando's tweet there. Then Trevor Sikkema. Where's Trevor Sikkema now? Pro Football Focus?
Is PFF.
Trevor Sikkema, who's phenomenal, does a great job. Says, if a jersey is retired, it's retired. That's it. Completely ridiculous what teams are letting happen with those numbers for the sake of social posts and videos. Legends shouldn't be put in the position to unretire it. And to be honest, no incoming rookie should feel like they can ask for it. In my opinion, it's wildly disrespectful to the commitment, the standard of and success that earned the jersey to be retired, and even entertaining a rookie asking for it and the team allowing it for that request. What's the point of all of it if you do? Admitting it's shallow and for show. So those are 2 very strong takes. Like Mike Sando's take is pretty damn strong. Trevor Sikkema just drove his stance so deep into the earth that nobody's ever going to move him off of that. Like I thought that was very interesting. And Trevor Sikkema is not like Mike Sando and Trevor Sikkema are like different generations of media. And so you would think a younger guy like Trevor Sikkema might be more, okay, go with the flow. Who cares? It's retired, whatever, cool thing, whatever. But no, like Trevor Sikkema is even stronger in this take. Easton, what was your reaction when you saw those tweets start to make the rounds yesterday? Because they did get a bunch of play, a lot of play. Like Mike Sandoz was pushing 700K impressions, and then Trevor Sikkema did a good job extending the conversation too. So what do you think about those 2 tweets?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. And I saw a lot of reaction to that. So to be clear, to be fair, I know what we titled today's show. I think their reaction is mostly a reaction to Abdul Carter's antics
Okay.
more than it is
And you're
Cam
calling them,
Ward's
you called
antics.
them antics.
Oh, they are I mean, I don't know if you followed this at all, or do you even know what I'm talking about?
I do know. Yeah,
Okay.
explain. But antics is an interesting way to phrase it. But
I
go
mean,
ahead.
I'm being a little cheeky, but Abdul Carter is essentially on a quest to request every single retired number in New York Giants history. It's like if he's saying if it's not a number that's been retired by some former great of one of the all-time franchises in NFL history, I don't want it. And what makes it funnier is the fact that he continues to get denied. For these different numbers, first by LT, and then I forget who the other guy. Who did
Lawrence
he have?
Taylor, Lawrence Taylor at 56,
Yeah,
and his college number, Phil Simms, quarterback,
Sims. That's right. Yeah.
has 11 retired.
That's right. That's right. So, I don't know what he's gonna wear. We may need to pull up a list of other New York Giants retired numbers to see
I'm
what
doing
he
that
might go
now.
for next. But yeah, so it's a combination of those two things, right? And Cam Ward is a part of it, I think, just because of Warren Moon was at the Kentucky Derby as he always is, clearly a big Kentucky Derby guy, as is Kay Adams, and those two chat every year. And he was talking about what he spoke to us about. So two Fridays ago, we spoke with him at Cam's introductory press conference about the jersey situation. Last Friday, he was at the Kentucky Derby talking to Kay Adams, saying explicitly what he was winking and nodding and alluding to the previous Friday with us, that the Titans would be getting new jerseys, new colorways in the near future, entirely new. And that was a big part of his decision. It was a part of all the moving wheels of this operation that they've been dealing with. Cam Ward, the number, the unretiring, et cetera, re-retiring the Oilers jerseys, I guess is the way to put it. All of those things. So to react to the actual takes, now that we've kind of set how we got here.
Yeah.
We spoke about it. Was it Friday evening before the second round when me and Sam spoke about this?
We talked about this while we were waiting after the Titans trade away 35. We were waiting for them to come on the clock at 52. We threw this in as part of the discussion.
Yes, and as everyone that listened then knows, it's not my favorite topic in the world, but at this point, I'm up for the team because clearly folks are interested in this. And I will say, like I said then, it's not that I don't have an opinion on this. I do have a relatively strong opinion on it. It's just that it's a battle that I don't care at all to fight. So I'm happy to give my opinion, which is a not uncertain one.
So yeah, and we'll do that here in a second. But like I do think
I'm not surprised that this is the general consensus. Is really my takeaway from these tweets. I think that real football guys, and Sando and Sycamore are football guys. I think that they are the type to want to honor the decorum of it all, right? The pomp and circumstance of the way that we do these things and the significance of a retired number. That doesn't surprise me one bit.
So look, I think retiring jersey, like when I was coming up through just being a sports fan, early sports media, like retiring jerseys was
70s.
like a bad, okay, come on. Ridiculous. Retiring I was born in the same decade that you were born, mister.
Is that right?
But yes, that is true. Barely. But
Did you know that Tyler Shuck is going to be the last guy ever drafted from the 1900s? Just totally random. Awesome. I heard that the other day.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is
hilarious. Old man Shuck, last guy.
Anyways. In the 1990s for sure. No, but I do think I always thought retiring jersey was great. Like that's a badass thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
But as I've gotten older, I think there is a different type of cool factor to honoring certain jersey numbers, and that certain jersey numbers have a legacy. Like, I don't know if you're aware, but like the jersey number 18 for LSU football is given to a specific player every year or until that player exhausts their playing time at LSU, because it's a leadership number. Ole Miss has the same thing. There's always some type of story that goes along with it because of who they're honoring, the legacy of the person that created what that jersey number means. I don't know how it happened, but in Tennessee basketball, as I follow volunteer basketball, their jersey number 5 is like undefeated. I don't know how they do it, but they keep giving number 5 to somebody, and that person is like a baller and is like there for like 3 to 4 years. And
maybe it's just the aura of the number 5. Maybe
something about it started with Chris Lofton back in the early 2000s, and literally like there has been a really strong player wearing 5 for Tennessee basketball outside of like 12 games in the middle of like the Conzo Martin era. But it just happened that way. And like, should they retire 5? I don't know, because they keep giving it to guys who are legendary in the program.
It's working. So, don't retire it.
Yeah. And like hashtag QJ brings up 11 at Penn State, right? Michael Parsons had it. Now Abdul Carr had it. And who's going to have it next? So there's 88 with the Cowboys, right? That was Michael Irving. Then it was Des Bryant. Now it's CeeDee Lamb. So there's a lot of things like that. And I think that's fun. I think that's cool.
Agreed.
But these guys, Sando and Sycamore, don't put the retired player in the position of having to say yes or no.
Also agreed.
I think there are multiple conversations and layers to all of this, because Sycamore adds legends shouldn't be in the position to do that. And also rookies that have not done a damn thing yet should not feel entitled to come in and ask for it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's ask the question this way. Is unretiring a jersey number fair or foul? Now, this is a very, very yes or no, black or white, no gray, no middle ground type of question. But I'm curious to see where people land with it. Is unretiring jersey numbers fair or foul? Fair or foul? I'll tell you what. It's very fair. The process that Zach and I used with the Barton Drury Insurance Group to get the insurance benefits for our company and our employees over the last year. BartonDrury.com is where to go. Customized solutions for all of your insurance needs. It was a big step in our company. That once we got to a certain number of employees, we said, you know what? It's time for us to continue to invest in our employees and offer health coverage for them. And we had to find the right partners. And we went local. We could have gone big, but local was actually better. Local was good quality coverage for the best rate possible right there. So they are local and strive to provide that excellence, but also they want to make sure they take the time to educate you and make sure you understand your insurance policies, because insurance policies are very overwhelming and intimidating with all the different legalese and different types of verbiage used. But BartonDrury.com and Barton Drury Insurance Group can help you through that. Customized solutions for all your insurance needs. All your insurance needs, that's not just a saying. They do everything. Employee benefits, 401k planning, life insurance, workers' comp, liability, auto, property, umbrella, and much, much more. Any type of product that comes out there, they're looking for the best way to service you as an individual, you as a family, you as an employer. They've got you covered right there online at BartonDrury.com.
There's so much more to say, but first, make sure you've liked the show and then leave a 5-star Google review for us. Search on Google ATOZ Sports. Leave a 5-star review there. Say whatever you'd like. We think your feedback is a gift. We do read it. We appreciate it, as long as it comes in the form of a 5-star Google review.
Absolutely. All right. Here live on the show. Also, shout out A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa, momentspeace.com, to not mess up Mother's Day. So make sure you take advantage of that. momentspeace.com to not mess up Mother's Day. Easton, I'm going to put up a YouTube poll. Is it fair or foul to unretire jerseys? So I will let you head to the chat to see what the people are saying here as I put up this poll question and send the tweet out. Fair or foul to unretire jersey numbers? What are you seeing from the chat so far?
It's interesting because we are talking about a thing that the Titans just did with Cam Ward, and we'll break down the nuance of that because there is some context there. But JR says foul, Curtis says fair. Orlando says foul. Landon says fair. Tippy says it just depends on the player to him. It's totally depends on how.
So that's a fair answer. So that's a fair answer, right? If you're saying situationally depends, then it's fair.
Yeah. Agreed. Rooney says foul. Darius says foul. Eric says fair. Hashtag QJ says foul. Fair, foul, fair. Foul and stupid, MB. Really not a fan. Brock says fair. Steven says foul. Big-time legendary players fought hard. Foul, fair. I mean, we are as split as possible here, Austin. Fair if the retired player is okay with it. Fair. I believe in legacy. Ira Hoshi says it's fair because I believe he's saying it's dumb to retire jerseys in the first place to him. Fair. It's up to the retired player. So, I mean, we are as 50-50 in the chat here.
Yeah, see, Teddy says foul. They should have to earn it first. And I think so. Let's talk about that one before we get to our individual answers, because there's so many layers to this, right? They should have to earn it first. Well, I mean, like the process of changing jersey numbers in the NFL or in pro sports is so complicated.
It's expensive.
Like, it's expensive for the player. Unless you're changing teams, which you're getting new jerseys anyway. If a player wants to change jersey numbers with the same team, they have to pay for all of the jerseys printed with the old number to have the NFL make new jerseys with their new number. And they have to be able to make up the difference of what was already spent to produce the old jerseys and all the old other, not just the jerseys, but everything that was marketing for that player in the original. Vanessa asked, it cost the players to change jersey numbers.
Got to buy all those jerseys
with the same team. Now, if you're like Tajay Spears and you're 32 as a rookie and you go to 2 in your second year, Tajay Spears' buyout number from going from 32 to 2 is not that high because he's Tajay Spears. He's a third-round pick. He was a rookie running back that didn't do too much. It's not like he was Cam Ward.
Yeah, but like, what if you were, say, a first overall quarterback?
Yeah, if you're Cam Ward and you start at 7, and then you are a baller, and your next contract, you're like, you know what? Warren Moon says, you've earned it, young man. You can have my one. Now that's a lot of money that's Cam Ward's going to have to do to rebrand that. So I don't think that's a possibility with you should have to earn it. That's just not how it works. So Easton, what is your overall stance on the question? Fair or foul to unretired jersey numbers?
It's like, I don't know. I disagree with the premise of retired jersey numbers. So it's like, I don't know if I should say fair or foul because I guess it's fair. I guess it's fair because you know what? No, it's foul. It's foul as long as we're retiring them. So again, my main point here is that I think we shouldn't be retiring them. But if we're going to retire them, kind of to Trevor Sycam's point, then they need to be retired. And you shouldn't be putting the legends who got the number retired in the first place in the position to constantly have to field knuckleheads calling them rookies who think they're all that, calling them about wearing their number, which is retired and was an honor. It's like, if you got an honor, it's like if you won the Masters and people are calling you to see if they can borrow your green jacket, like, leave me alone. I earned this thing.
Yeah, but so I don't taking your jersey. They're taking like replicas of your.
Yeah, but they are taking.
There's a new green jacket every year.
It's true. What I'm saying is you worked hard to earn the ownership of that number in the eyes of the franchise that you got it retired with. They decided this number belongs to you and only you forever and always because you earned it. And then 5, 7, 12 years later, some 20-year-old comes to you and says, remember that number you earned? Mind if I just wear it now, borrow it? And oh, by the way, I intend to become the greatest player this franchise has ever seen. And if I succeed in doing that, I'm going to be the one that's going to be remembered in this jersey for this franchise. And you're going to have to share that memory with me, the history with me. That's crappy. Like, I don't like that. And so I understand why certain young players do it. And like, I understand that if you grew up playing with a number since you were in, Pee-wee football and it's means something to you. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense why, if I was a player who was really, really married to my number and I got drafted to a team that had that number retired, I'd be pissed. Like, it would really annoy me. Fair. Too bad, brother. Like, them's the breaks. I don't know what to tell you. Time to pick a new number. And go get that number retired for yourself so that nobody can ask you for your number. So, but all of that being said, I don't think we should retire it. I just hate the flip-floppiness. And I think that's kind of what Sycamore was getting at. I hate that we're living in this in-between world. Either retire them or don't retire them and do the smart thing and do the what did you call it? The legacy numbers? Do the legacy numbers.
Yeah. Legacy numbers.
What about you?
So I answered the poll question with fair. It is fair to unretire jersey numbers. Now, the situation has to be appropriate and correct for it to happen.
So sort of fair. Maybe fair.
No, it's fair. It's fair, but it's fair to do it when it's right to do it.
Sometimes fair. Okay.
No, but that just means that I'm fair. I'm not saying foul.
It can be fair. It can be fair.
It is fair when the circumstance fits, when the glass slipper fits, because Warren Moon mentioned that he's told a lot of people no over the last years, and he said David says, didn't Moon tell AJ Brown no? We don't know for a fact that he told AJ Brown. We just put 2 and 2 together because AJ wore 1 at Ole Miss and came to the Titans and wore 11. And so we're like, okay, AJ probably asked Warren Moon if he could wear it, which is I don't have a problem with a player asking. I think that's respectful. I think look, I mean,
it's not respectful.
Is it not?
No, it would be respectful if you didn't have to ask and you were doing it as a courtesy. You literally have to ask. So it's a requirement. It's not respect.
No, but I think look, and it depends on how it's being asked, right? I wasn't on the phone or in the room when AJ Brown asked Warren Moon, but I'm guessing that AJ Brown, with all of his charisma that he just oozes from his ears, was probably really gracious with how he did it.
I'm not saying they did it disrespectfully. Yes. I'm sure they did it with the reverence required. But asking is a requirement of this process. So it's not out of respect.
But I do think that there's a way it can be respectful. Is like, Mr. Moon, you are the guy who got this jersey number retired. That's the peak of individual athletic honors, really, right? Mm-hmm. And so, but I would love to have to have you consider unretiring it for me, because I will wear that with as much honor for you as I could possibly can. There's a way of asking that question to where it is respectful, and it's saying this is going to, you having this retired is going to make me work even harder, yada, 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 all that kind of stuff. So I think there's situations for it.
I still find it fundamentally disrespectful, though.
I don't think
you are disrespecting you are disrespecting the honor in the first place. The whole point is that nobody gets to wear this number anymore. That's how special this number is to this franchise's history. And you want to rewrite that history. That's disrespectful to me. It is. No matter how good or great you think you may be, no matter how good or great you will be, you are asking to rewrite the history of a franchise that you have currently done nothing for. Okay,
so Devin brings up the other thing of why put someone in that position.
Exactly.
That's also true. And you can say hey, you can preface the question with totally cool if it's a no, but you got to ask, right? I'm, absolutely fine. No sweat, no hard feelings. You're the man regardless, but I wanted to ask, and I think you can do that and it'll be fine. I think if you do it publicly, that's pretty dumb. That's pretty crappy. If you do it publicly. Yeah. Hey, Warren, what if I wear that number 1? What do you think about that? That's a terrible situation and not very respectful. But we didn't know that AJ Brown, or we're just guessing that AJ asked because it makes sense for him to ask. Warren Moon also told you guys that multiple people on the current roster asked. We don't know who those guys are either. So it clearly never got out. And so I think, that's the way to do that. I think it's fine. I think it also matters. And I think if the player is still alive and understands what the incoming player could mean to the franchise, I'm open for it, because I do think there's a way of honoring and having that jersey becoming a legacy number. So I think there's a lot of different layers to this one. And I think there's extra layers to this one compared to the Giant situation.
Oh, the Titans situation is different because the Titans they made a whole organizational stance on how they are they had worked hard the past couple of years to merge the Oilers and Titans legacy. And then in the last month, they have worked very hard to make it clear we are re-bifurcating this history. We are separating them again. And that's fine. And I think it is actually going to cause us to quit having to do so much dumb Houston legacy talk every year. The Houston, that whole thing. We can quit doing that, which would be great. And that's like, again, Warren Moon said that if they hadn't done that, then he wouldn't have unretired the number for Cam. Like, it is different. He is not unretiring Titans number one.
So, but he is, because it has not been worn since he's been retired, which was approaching 20 seasons.
That's not true.
It was retired by the Titans.
Yeah, like in 06 or something.
Yes.
Is that when Moon retired?
No, that's when.
Okay. I think
that's when the jersey number was retired. It was retired.
But it's been worn as a Titans jersey. It has been worn.
Yes, it has been, which is why I thought that there was means to open it back up. Now, but I also don't like the idea of people picking and choosing, because the Titans want to claim the Oilers' history. Mm-hmm. The Titans organization retired Warren Moon's number 1 in 2006 after Gary Anderson moved on from the team. Mm-hmm. Nick says Warren Moon went to the Hall of Fame in 2005. So they retired it the year after he became an NFL Hall of Famer, Pro Football Hall of Famer. So then they retired the jersey. And it hadn't been worn as a Titan since then, approaching 20 seasons. So Bonafide Bro on Twitter says, good thing the number 1 jersey for the Titans was never retired, just the Oilers won. No.
Not true.
No. Number 1 was retired. Now, I do think it makes it more palatable that Warren Moon will not see it be worn in the Oilers jerseys again. I think it makes it more palatable, but you can't pick and choose and say the Titans and Oilers are the same franchise and the Titans deserve the Oilers' history in Houston and be mad at Houstonians all day long for trying to claim the Oilers, and then say, no, it was not retired for the Titans, just the Oilers. You can't have both. But it does make it more palatable. I think you can say that.
Yes. First of all, Tall Texas' point, did this dude just say Moon retired in 06? No, it sounded ridiculous to me, but I wasn't sure if he was one of those guys that, like, you know how some players like quit playing for 5 years and then they do their retirement way after I wasn't sure if he waited forever
official
or not.
Papers.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. It sounded ridiculous, but I thought that's what you were saying. Anyways, so I kind of misspoke a moment ago. What I was essentially saying is that Moon is not unretiring the Oilers one for Cam. I said the Titans one for Cam. He is not unretiring the Oilers one for Cam. He is retaining the retired ownership status of one in an Oilers jersey, because no one will ever wear that jersey again. And it's for him and for the Titans, they have taken a stand on it being less about the number and more about the number on the specific jersey, which is fine, and it's also different. Like, it is different. Cam Ward is going to wear a 1 on a different jersey than Warren Moon ever wore. And no one will ever wear the 1 on the Oilers jersey like Warren Moon wore, because that's retired. Fine, cool. And again, I do. Isn't it funny the way that they have totally turned heel? I mean, it feels like they spent the past half decade fighting for it's the same. Oilers. It's the same.
It is. I think it makes sense though.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. But they have. It is funny. Like, they have changed very dramatically.
But honestly, Easton, like seeing a jersey swap edit of Cam Ward wearing an Oilers throwback 1 is what made me have this click. Because all the jersey swaps that we've been showing and using for social media graphics of Cam Ward wearing number 1 was of the Titans, and it didn't make me think anything. But as soon as I saw a Cam Ward Oilers throwback 1, I go, that's not correct. That's Warren Moon. And so that my brain put it together the same way as what you're saying, is that it does make it more palatable. It's different. It's different than the Giants letting Abdul Carter or not letting Abdul Carter wear 11, because it's the same brand. It's the same team. It's the same jersey color scheme and jersey overall design. It's not like the Titans. The Titans have one of the most unique, if not the most unique, situations in this conversation in all pro sports.
Agreed. I just think it's more than fair to point out how funny it is the Titans spent the last half decade or more fighting for the it's the same narrative. And now they have done something that, as PB in the comments says, to me, it felt like Moon is doing this to confirm that it's separated. I don't know about the he had no choice part, but this is going to be the landmark move that is the thing that we point to and say it is sort of separated, at least in the eyes of the
I think you can
legendary players.
say the Titans franchise deserves ownership of the Oilers history, but you can understand the difference of the branding of Oilers and Titans.
Yes.
And those eras are different, but they're the
Yes.
same family.
Well, I'm not saying that they are revoking ownership. Of course, they maintain and respect and want to have total say over the ownership of the history of their franchise, because it is in fact their franchise. But they are no longer fighting this continuity battle, kind of where they're like it just kind of flowed in. No, there are clearly different eras. We know what they look like. We know what they were. We know what year it changed. Like we can quit playing the silly game with the city of Houston, who won't stop crying about it. That yes, we own this, and also it's two separate things to us, but we own them both. Sorry about it.
Yeah. Now, Trey says, just like the Texans have the unis in name, but it'll always be Titans history. No, like you don't want. No.
What?
No. All right, some comments I want to get to, some super chats involved in this conversation. Real quick, I want to remind you guys, Mother's Day, Sunday. Don't mess it up. AmomentsPeace.com. AmomentsPeace.com for a Moments Peace Salon and Day Spa. Get a gift card and you can win Mother's Day. Don't mess it up. Don't forget Mother's Day. It's on Sunday. You have less than a week to do it. It's so easy. Go to the website to get the gift card. You can email it, print it off. You can go in person and get the really pretty gift card with a nice fancy envelope, bow, and a ribbon and all that fun stuff. AmomentsPeace.com is where to go. All right, so super chats to get to, and then another one from Andrew. Andre says, I'm with Trevor Sycamore. It's only fair if the retired player offers it on their own accord. Disrespectful to ask. Nobody better ask to wear 9 ever. So Steve McNair's 9 is obviously retired too, as is 27 with Eddie George. Steve McNair's no longer with us. So it's not like I can go ask Michelle. Hey, can I wear 9? That's different, right? Like Warren Moon, very much still doing great, involved with the franchise and around. And so I think 9 is probably donezo for sure. 9 is not going to be brought back. There's no chance. And plus, he was wearing a Titans uniform with a Titans brand and also the Oilers as well.
Correct.
So I think you agree with that super chat for the most part.
Yeah.
Rashid says, after 20 years, that jersey number should be back on the shelf, or if they did a lifetime changes to the franchise, use it, should not be touched. That's kind of some broken
some
grammar.
Great English there, Rashid.
But anyway, I think I understand the point that retire it for 20 years, and if there's major changes with the franchise, you can bring it back.
Yes. I've seen this floating around, this idea that it should be retirement should be 20-year periods. That feels arbitrary and dumb to me. Again, that's splitting the baby. I hate it. I think it's dumb. Retire the numbers or don't retire the numbers. If you ask me, don't retire the numbers. But if you're going to do it, do it.
I think you're going to see a lot less numbers retired in the modern era. You're going to run out of numbers. If you keep on, you have to have such an elite standard for retiring jerseys.
Yeah.
That it's not going to happen much. You're going to put the guy in the rafters. You're going to put him on the wall or ring or whatever you want to call it with his number, but you're not going to retire the number. Now, Andrew says, Austin, how would you feel if they gave 22 away? I mean, I don't think they're going to retire 22 for Derrick Henry. I don't think anybody's going to wear 22 until Derrick Henry retires, comes back to Nashville, has a ceremony, goes in the Ring of Honor, and has 22 Derrick Henry up on the new stadium. Then they will probably give 22 to somebody, but they're probably going to create that space. What do you think about that?
I mean, sure. It's not retired.
But they haven't handed it out. And it's only been one season, right?
Yeah, so, but do you think they're, do you think it's because people are asking and they're saying no? I just don't think anybody's asked. The number's available. If somebody shows up and wants the number.
But for a long time, 9 and 27 were also available. But
is that right? Okay.
Yeah, they never gave it out. I want to say it was 20. 18, 17. I can't remember. I was at the ceremony when 9 and 27 was retired with Eddie speaking, and nobody had worn it.
Well, I'm willing to fight for, I'm willing to fight for retired numbers to stay retired because I think you should either do it or don't. But I'm not going to sit here and fight for numbers that aren't retired. If it's not retired, it's not retired. Warren Moon's number was retired, but after people had already worn it, it happens. You can't just hold every number you think you might retire in the future forever.
I think they're not going to hold it forever, and I don't think they're going to retire 22.
That's kind of my point. If you're not going to retire it, then hand it out.
I think they're just giving it some space because if it's the number one jersey seller, you kind of have to give it some space.
Fine.
It's got to breathe a little bit.
I get why. I just don't care. If it's retired, it's retired. If it's not, it's not.
All right, and then Slime and Sammy says the Saints are going to draft Arch Manning and give him number 8 for his granddad. Unretire 8 for Archie to give it to Arch. That, I think we would all be on board. Same family, right? That'd be pretty cool.
Sure. No way the Saints do something that competent, but sure.
They could totally be in the market to draft Arch.
Yeah, they'll screw it up somehow.
2027 draft.
They're the Saints.
Tyler Shuck has 2 years. He's 30 years old. And now, you're moving off of him.
That's outrageous. He's 30 years old.
I mean, it's not far. It'll be 28. But, the Saints could be in that spot to draft Arch Manning, 2027 draft.
Malachi Perry says Easton has never had a favorite number in his life. Not true. I've always had favorite numbers when I've played sports.
What's your favorite number?
4.
4?
Mm-hmm. Okay. When I played football, I wore 42 because
at the position.
Yes, and it's what my cousin wore, and so I just liked it. But it was a requirement thing. But in any sport when I could choose any number, it was 4.
Now we're just gonna have people were dropping their favorite numbers. Rashid says 37. Yeah, I mean,
what was your favorite number?
I didn't. So I did not have one until I was in high school. I wore numbers for certain players early on. Believe it or not, I wore 21 for Dion. I was a big Dion kid back in the 90s.
You and I'm sure many, many others.
I was a big Dion kid. I wore 21 because I played corner, and I continued to wear jersey numbers in those sports that I liked. 8 is what I wanted, but I was a wide receiver, and so I could not get 8 in high school, so I got 81.
That's a strong number it's a good receiver.
I technically wanted 18 first, and then a older quarterback who was playing. I had 18 in the spring. An older quarterback who wanted 18, who played baseball during the spring, stole it from me as a sophomore. Happens, and so I was like, you know what? 81 in the mirror is 18, so I did that.
It is. I think 81 is a stronger receiver number than 18. That's just how I personally.
I like the teens. I like the teens in single digits.
No, I hear you. There's something about a receiver at 81. I like that.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so let's we talk about the draft with Arch Manning in 2027.
Where are they having that draft?
Washington D.C. and they're going to have it on the mall, on the National Mall, right?
Pretty sick.
The NFL put this out. This is how it's going to look, which I do think is pretty sick.
It's very cool.
An early look at the 2027 NFL draft in Washington, D.C. It's going to be in D.C. 2 years from now. It'll be in Pittsburgh in 2026. Side note, I've never been to Pittsburgh. I don't know why, but when I hear Pittsburgh, I'm like, do you have the same reaction?
No, I've heard good things about Pittsburgh.
I have too, but for whatever reason, I think Pittsburgh and I think kind of dirty. I mean,
no, that's how I'd feel if it was like Baltimore. Not Pittsburgh.
Baltimore, I think of harbor.
Pittsburgh, I just think of healthcare.
I just think of kind of an older, dirty, but that's not how it is at all. I know
it's a put together city.
I know it sounds really bad, but
in terms of draft locations, if we just did Green Bay, nothing will bother me anymore.
Yeah,
Green Bay was and still is a dumb choice for the draft, but it's whatever. It's over with.
But they're going to be moving it around. So let's do a prediction time. What year do we think Nashville will host the draft again? What year do we think Nashville will host the draft again. It happened in 2019. We all kind of thought it needs to come back. Nashville changed the draft with live music. We all know that. But what year do we think Nashville will host the draft again? Do want to tell you guys all about our friends at Lipscomb University. They have a sports analytics program that is changing the way you can get your online degree. Lipscomb Sports Analytics, where data meets the game. You can analyze, strategize, and revolutionize sports and turn your sports passion into an actual profession. Learn the game-changing insights, career-defining skills at Lipscomb University with their sports analytics program. You'll learn how to make all the calls that count. It is online always. So it doesn't matter where you live. You don't have to be in Nashville. You don't have to be in the state of Tennessee to join this Lipscomb Sports Analytics program. They're taking new applicants all the time. So make sure that you can check it out. If you want a career in sports, people ask us all the time, how do you get started? This isn't the journalism broadcast route, but these days you don't need a journalism or broadcast degree to do this.
No, you sure don't.
Know what you're talking about. And so Lipscomb Sports Analytics program it could be a gateway for you to get into this industry in many different ways right there at Lipscomb University in Nashville.
There's so much more to say, but first make sure you have liked the show for us this morning. Like the show. Thank you. And then go over to Google, search A to Z Sports, leave a 5-star Google review for us over there. It's extremely helpful for our site, for our brand, for our digital authority or whatever it is. It's just trust us. It helps a big amount. And it's free for you. And we love to read your comments. So leave us a review over there on Google.
All right. So prediction time. What percent or what year do we think Nashville will host the NFL draft again? Now, the soonest it could be is 2028 because 2026 in Pittsburgh, 2027 in Washington, D.C. Easton, what are you seeing from the chat?
Oh, let's see. Let me consult the chat. Scrolling. I am seeing 2033, 2049, 2029, 2030, 28 or 29, 2030. After they've hosted their Super Bowl. So sometimes in the early 2030s, according to Coach Wills. 29, 2028 because of the stadium. We can address that in a minute. 2030, 2040, 2029. So a lot of 2027s, 28s, 29s, 30s. 31s, a couple 32s, and then a couple outliers, 2035. Again, once the stadium is fully built, 2038, 2051. Okay.
That's just trolling like that. Come on.
2089.
Do you want to, should we create a before or after like line, like a year line, like a over under type thing?
Sure.
Easton, before or after 2035?
After.
I agree.
There have been 11 different. So it was in Radio City Music Hall from 1965 to 2014.
Yeah.
And then they did it in Chicago for 2 years, just kind of randomly. And then since then, it has been in 11 different locations, excluding the pandemic year. Or excuse me. Where I'm also including the ones they have planned. So through 2027, we've got 11 different locations planned. Chicago, Philadelphia, Arlington, Nashville, Cleveland, Vegas, Kansas City, Detroit, Green Bay, Pittsburgh, Washington. That's a third of the league. There's a third of the league left. If they're doing it in Green Bay, I don't think there's anywhere they wouldn't put it besides maybe like Jacksonville. But I think that there are at least, they've done 11 cities. I think that there are at least 10 to 15 more cities that they have on their short list of places they'd like to take this traveling circus to before they start repeating. And while I do think that Nashville is very high, if not the highest on their list of repeat cities one day, because of the raging success and the way that Nashville's uniquely situated to host incredible events, I still think that, I think they'll return to New York again before they come back to Nashville. So
because they haven't done like a Jets Giants hosting, right? That was just New York,
yeah, exactly. School. So I think it's more likely to be in the 2040s than in the 2030s.
So we're both after 2035. All right. So,
yeah, you said 2049 was trolling. It's sort of trolling, but
that's just such an arbitrary number. Like you could say like the 2040s, like the decade or something.
If you made me guess a number, I'd say 2036, 37, something like that.
Yeah. So David says not every NFL city will host the draft. What NFL cities will not host the draft?
Jacksonville will never get a draft.
You don't think Jacksonville will ever do?
No.
Okay.
Jacksonville will never get a draft. Do you think Tampa would? I've not been to Tampa. Like, is that a big enough city to like? See, it's so funny. I'm saying, is it a big enough city? We just saw them do it in Green Bay.
Yeah,
So
but it's the Tampa, yes, but because I think you could do it maybe like in St. Pete or Clearwater or one of those surrounding. Like you could do the draft on the beach. A draft beach party would be kind of cool. Same thing with South Beach, right? With Miami.
I'm pulling up the list of NFL cities.
Yeah, let's go through them and see like what NFL cities are not going to do it because they did Detroit, right? They did Green Bay. Like, is Minnesota going to get one in like the Mall of America?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's an opportunity there.
Cleveland already has because of the Hall of Fame location.
Correct. 2021, they got theirs.
Seattle, I could see Seattle not because you're probably going to have crappy weather.
Well, yeah, and the city's kind of a dump, but still. Okay. Well, okay, so like
in Seattle's like so far away.
Are they going to do it in Glendale? Probably. They love hosting events there.
Hell yeah. Arizona?
Yeah.
Yes.
Atlanta will get one eventually. Baltimore will probably get one. Is Orchard Park getting one? The Bills aren't hosting one.
The new stadium though.
I don't think so. Combination of that city and the weather potential.
But like Buffalo can't host anything else besides the draft.
They can't host anything, period. There's no infrastructure.
What is Green Bay?
They made it up. There also wasn't any infrastructure.
Yeah, but no, Buffalo will. Buffalo will get a draft
so?
because they can't host a Super Bowl because they built a brand new like $2 billion stadium without a roof.
Yeah, well,
stupid.
Okay. Is Charlotte ever going to get one? I mean, you were hyping up Charlotte the other day.
Charlotte's a cool city.
Yeah, but are they getting a draft? Okay. All right.
The Panthers now.
So how many places have we crossed off the list? Panthers are off the list. Chicago has already gotten one.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, they did one in Cleveland. Why wouldn't they do one in Cincinnati?
Cincinnati, you could do
it's
one.
It's kind of redundant for the state of Ohio. That's like kind of the only thing.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be down the list. I can see Cincinnati.
Would they go to Cincinnati before they come back to Nashville?
Ooh.
It's kind of tough, isn't it?
I mean, Joe Burrow would have to win a Super Bowl.
You think so?
Because Cincinnati also can't host anything else. Outdoor stadium.
True.
That's what I'm thinking. And Cincinnati, like weather in late April, not bad.
Okay, Cincinnati's a maybe. Cleveland's had it. Arlington's had it. Denver, they'll have one.
Yeah.
Denver will have one. Detroit had one. Green Bay had one somehow. Houston will have one. Indianapolis will have one.
I could see Houston not having one.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I could see them because it's like I could see them doing something different. I could see them doing like a San Antonio draft to represent.
Is this your like answer about a different city, San Antonio?
Yeah, I've got a thought.
I've got a city in mind for in a minute that we'll get to. Okay.
I could see like the Texans hosting the draft in like San Antonio.
Okay. Just first change of scenery or
yeah.
Okay, so Houston maybe. Jacksonville is not getting one. I will plant that flag. Nope. Kansas City got one. Vegas got one. LA has not had one, but like they're gonna do an LA one.
Yeah, LA will get one.
That crosses off two teams at once, but still Miami is definitely getting one. Minneapolis is it's a maybe. I'm not sure Minneapolis is gonna get one.
I mean, Detroit got one.
Yeah, they might, but I'm not like sure.
Isn't it weird that like the NFC North might be the first division to get
all of them
to all get the draft?
It's great. It's a great point. Great point. Well, no,
there's 3 out of 4.
Everyone's favorite NFC East. I mean, they've already done Philly, and they're about to do DC, and they did Dallas, and they've done New York.
No, so New York. New York doesn't count.
How does it not count?
That doesn't count for this. That doesn't count for this conversation. That doesn't count because the Giants.
Okay, well then they're one away, and I have a good feeling they're going to get there.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh is getting one. Santa Clara. What about
no
San Fran? I don't think so.
No.
Bad city. Seattle, we're gonna also say probably not.
I don't think so.
Tampa, we think would.
Yeah.
Nashville got one. DC's getting one. So that's it. That's the end of the cities. So we got three cities that we think just straight up they're not getting one ever. And then we have either 3 or 4, I'm counting my fingers, that we think might not get one. So let's say 7. 7 don't get one before Nashville gets another one. There have been
So that's
11.
14 more.
Yeah, 14 more.
No, because there's 2. There's LA.
You're right. So it's like 11 more or something. 11 or 12 more.
Yeah.
So it's at least another decade. So it's at least after 2035. So I think we're right about that.
Yeah.
So where's this city that you think would be awesome?
I think
NFL city.
Jeff nailed it, and others have in the chat.
Orlando. Okay. People of Orlando give you a hard time about this, Jeff, because I don't know if you know this. Disney World is not in Orlando. So
this is.
No, it's 30 minutes away from Orlando.
Oh, okay.
So it's in a totally different city and everything. People in Orlando get really feisty about.
I thought you were going to go Disney World versus
here.
Disney. I thought you were going to go Disney World.
No. That would have no.
Because do you know the cheat code to the world versus land?
Just besides knowing where they are.
No, how to remember which is in which location.
I just know where they are, so no.
Oh well, here I'll tell you. World has ORL for Orlando. Land has LA.
True. Good point.
Los Angeles. So that's how I do it.
Do you get that mixed up in your head quite a bit?
Oh yes, until I learned that. And I only learned that like 8 months ago, so this is like new for me. So no, I think Orlando would crush it. I think now the only thing I don't know why LA gets one because the NFL Network wants LA. So if I think LA gets one, and then I think ESPN's like, give us Orlando, Disney. And I think I think you would see those kind of close to each other.
No, I think that's totally fair. The city I had in mind was.
Could you imagine like all of the mascots and all of the Disney World like?
Oh, it's shockingly easy to picture. It's shockingly easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt in my head that they could do that. I think it was San Diego, just because I think it's one of the best cities in the entire country and is beautiful. It'd be a great television product, guaranteed good weather. A big enough city has the infrastructure to do it. You could do it on the bay. You could do it on a boat. There's a lot of opportunities in San Diego, and it also I think would assuage a city that is they're kind of in that St. Louis bitter NFL fans in San Diego because of the way that the teams were taken from them. So throwing them a bone, I think, would make a lot of sense. And you're also in Southern California. There's a bajillion people. Like, it's near all your Hollywood stuff. It would make a lot of sense.
It's gotta be something that people want to go travel to, you know?
But people love traveling to San Diego just in general. An excuse to go there for the draft, sign them up.
That's why
sign me up.
Like, I'm curious. I would love to try out Seattle to see what Seattle's like to visit, but I'm not going to go. The draft sounds like a bunch of rain in Seattle in April.
You're probably right.
You know? So that's what I think. I think Orlando would represent Jacksonville. I think something like San Antonio would be different for another Texas city like Houston. Dallas didn't even. Water. Yeah. So that's my thought. All right, Easton, are you ready to throw some shade?
You know what? I am uniquely prepared. Usually I come into shade with nothing. I have 3 shades today. I'm ready to get
3 shades. Well, I don't know if we have time for them all.
There's some rapid fires. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. Throw in shade. If you have shade, get ready for it. Let it fly. County Hyundai, WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Make them a part of your new car buying process. Go see them in Lebanon or online, WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Save money on that new ride. Once again, don't forget, a moment's peace salon and day spa. Don't mess up Mother's Day. Go to momentspeace.com. Right there, top of the screen, momentspeace.com to get your mother in your life the right gift right there. So, shade. Beardy Kuhn says, graduation on Mother's Day should not happen. I think that's a great shade. Easton, was that one of your shade?
It wasn't, but that's a great point. Although
that would be a 4th shade for you.
No, you know what? It actually is the opposite of a shade for me because selfishly, you just knock them both out. you just get both out of the way at the same time. It's killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I don't mind it personally. But if it is, I could see it being problematic for some others. So I get that.
All right, so give us one of your shades.
So I decided to cut one of my shades for another day.
Okay, so
a rainy day shade that I'll save. The first one is that. So the first one is football related. You've started to see this a little bit. You're going to continue to hear it, and we talk about how it's dumb every year. But I'm going to kind of plant my flag on. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to report on it. I'm not going to write about it. It's not happening. Rookie contract news. Brother, who cares? The 15th pick just signed his contract for the amount of money that the CBA dictates he's supposed to sign it for.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Adam Schefter, for giving me a tweet alert.
Very good.
It's August 3rd and Cam Ward hasn't signed it. Okay. Wake me when it's opening day and he hasn't signed
I hope it's before August 3rd.
Like, who cares? Who cares?
I mean, August 3rd, that's like a week and a half in the training camp, Easton.
Oh, you're saying he's holding out? Okay, he's not.
No. It needs to be way earlier. Cam Ward needs to be signed before July 20th.
My fair quarterback. That different thing. But my point is they always get signed. They're always for the there's no intrigue because we know how much money they're signing for. You can Google it and everything. It's available. They have like a little bit of wiggle room for some guarantees and some performance checkpoints and stuff like this, but who cares? And a lot of teams get to this, you'll see it's a go-to in July. It'd be 13 of the first round picks still haven't signed. Therefore, see if you or your player hasn't. Who cares? Dumb, stupid. Report on if it's the end of preseason and they still haven't signed it. Otherwise, I do not care. So that's my first shade. My second shade has nothing to do with football. It's just that I have to go to the dentist and get 2 cavities filled today. Because I have just bad teeth genetically. It's like the curse that my father gave to me. So
it's not brush your teeth enough or you don't floss. It's just it was going to happen.
Unfortunately, no. I'm always asking what more I can do, and the dentist is just honestly, with you, just the genes got you, man. It's your dad's fault. It's the only thing that's wrong with me. Turns out everything else is perfect.
Veneers are in your future.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll get caps at some point. And it's not like I constantly have tooth pain or that they're always yellow or anything. They look fine. They just constantly have cavities. Not constantly, but I'm usually good for a cavity every time I go to get every other time, once a year. And it gets really old. So I'll be all hopped up on laughing gas later today and having just a grand old time.
Yeah. Jeff says shade on Michigan, thinking they could pick their 2 easiest games for a suspension. Picking your own suspension is a suspension. It's a vacation.
Shade on us still doing this. Why are we still talking about this?
No, you know what's funny? I'm calling shade on Michigan for that. It's great because they picked weeks 3 and 4, not 1 and 2. For
it is funny.
Shimon Moore for his. You know what they called it? Banned. They said he's been banned, not suspended. Michigan used the self-imposed suspension with the term banned, which is trying to make it sound harsher than it is. Because being banned sounds more intense than being suspended. And so that's just messaging from Michigan trying to get the NCAA to back off a little bit. So that's very good shade from Jeff.
It is.
Mike says shade on my beard. Shade on Austin's beard.
Okay. That's very rude.
I know. Look, I don't know how long I'm going to keep this thing going. I've trimmed it a couple times. It's definitely patchy, but you know what? It's the life that I'm living right now. So deal with it for a little bit. IR throwing shade on national media, still talking about Shedeur Sanders constantly. Hey, move the needle. Bork says shade on his boss for telling him he's hosting the presentation 5 minutes before the meeting. So you're not prepared, Bork. Yeah.
Look alive.
Let's see. Shade on people that thought Burks was going to be great. Okay. Ocho, this is a great shade. Shade on people seriously debating the 100 men versus the 1 gorilla. That's a great shade.
Why? It's funny.
He said when they're seriously debating it. If it crosses the line of okay, you're taking this too seriously and you're no longer having fun, then that's fine.
What, you screaming at each other? Okay, sure, fine. But I found the conversation fun for the time that it was fun.
Okay, fair enough. Danny, shade on my job. New company bought property and they're killing me.
I'm not sure how the property is killing you, Danny, but I'm very sorry to hear this.
It sounds like they probably just did a good move for the company. My shade.
Not for Danny, though.
Yeah, right. And then so I see Andre says his daughter's prom is the Friday before Mother's Day. So they're just busy weekend overall on that. All right. My shade, Easton, is I thought A to Z Sports had a phenomenal little leadership retreat, right? Fun. Thursday night, hanging out at the Airbnb. Friday, we had meetings. And then Friday, we went up to the Greg Cosell Buck Rising event with Brian Callahan. Wasn't it a great time?
It was. So what's the shade?
We took 0 pictures of it was.
That's the most guys retreat thing possible. is
yes.
that nobody took a picture of anything. It's really
We had a
good.
great time. We're a digital media company, and like Easton and I are in the same. We're both in Nashville. There's a group of us that are in Nashville, but I see that those people like 4 times a year in person. Maybe I met somebody, Black Reagan, for the first time in 7+ years. We were working together. Charles Goldman for 2 almost years. First that we were working together. First time meeting him in person. A bunch of others the same way. Like 0 pictures. Like we did a terrible job of that. So that was my that's my one regret.
That's funny. It's good.
Yep.
It's good.
That's how it works.
We have a super chat we didn't get to, and that person shaded us for not reading it because it was a $20 super chat. So
I was going to get to it.
Okay,
I was going to get to it, but it came in late, man. Fact that this is where we're going back to the very beginning of this. Jason says fact that he was asked as the only
person of color
QB in the Hall of Fame shows how bush league the franchise is. People are saying number 1 better not ask for 9. Warren Moon was elite. This is tough, man.
Warren Moon was leagues better than Steve McNair. Warren Moon was told he couldn't play NFL quarterback and had to go to the CFL to prove he was different. So first of all, we can address the comment. Second of all, if you're going to use a super chat, which we love and we appreciate, get them in on time and don't be watching the show on delay by 30 minutes. Third of all, if you're going to use a super chat, spell check yourself, folks. We got 2 super chats this morning with some brutal spelling. Just read that thing back before you send it, because we don't want y'all to waste your money on a chat we can't.
Yeah, and this is way too shorthand. Like, come on, like we're Ron Burgundying the crap out of this thing because it's like shorthand. Like
WM1,
you took out the O. Like you saved 1 character on told by TLD.
Saying
and look, I also think there's a reason why I think it fits that Cam Ward can wear Warren Moon's 1, and why Warren Moon I think is okay with it is because Warren Moon was told he couldn't play in the NFL. Cam Ward had to start at FCS level. Like there's a lot of similarities to their path. 0 star to number 1 overall pick. I think that kind of went into it. But Jason, there's your super chat. We didn't purposely not get to it. We just had to move on the show. So, all right, guys, that is it for us on. He said had to condense it to fit. It would have cost him $50. Okay,
is that how it works? You have to pay more for more characters?
I have no idea.
That's crazy. All right, well, I take that part back, Jason. I didn't know that the super chats work.
Fair enough. All right, guys.
They're charging by the character over there at YouTube. Outrageous.
Yeah, that is wild. All right, guys, that's it for us on this Tuesday. Make sure you hit that like button, like the show. We'll be back tomorrow on a Wednesday morning. Appreciate it as always.